Google's AI overviews now appear in 84% of searches, 84%. And it prioritizes entities, so like people with structured data. And I know I talk a lot about data and trust sources, and it sounds all very technical, but it's not as difficult as as it sounds. Okay. Now, the visibility triangle that I will present to you is not theory. It is built on how AI actually evaluates you, your business, and credibility now on the internet. Now, this is my visibility triangle, what we're going to talk about here. And you can see on the bottom, you have Geo, which is the foundation. Like Geo is generative engine optimization, which is the technical backbone that makes your authority machine readable, right? So as I said, AI is machines, it's not humans, they read it differently. So in simple terms, Geo tells Google and AI exactly who you are, what you want to be known for, and why you're credible so that they can confidently recommend you, right? Now, this involves two things that we need to do. First, structured data alignment. So your name, role, expertise, everything appear consistently across the web, your websites, profile, in your schema markup, everywhere. This is what I just said. When you Google yourself, see if your messaging is consistent. So I always call myself PR and AIO strategist and not PR expert here. Like this is what I used to call myself, but I'm now also correcting everything online so that it's just all the same, right? It's consistent messaging. So this is one thing. And then the other thing is strategic blogging. So you need to publish content on your website that answers your ideal client's questions. Because with that, you feed AI with authoritative answers it can cite. Because think about it, if you want to be cited by AI, it actually needs to get your answers from somewhere. So you need to write a blog. And so in 2014, with my first business, this is how I built my website to 100,000 monthly organic readers with SEO, right? So then I optimized for keywords. But now we don't optimize for keywords anymore. We optimize for your entity. We optimize for you as a person, like who are you and what are you known for? So, and obviously back then I wrote all the blog articles by hand, which took me around 60 to 90 minutes. Now I have a system which takes my client 15 to 20 minutes to have an article that is not written like like from AI content, but with our own content, but it's written by AI. So we use AI to help us write the content, but it's still coming from our head, right? It's still our own ideas. And without Geo, AI sees only disconnected fragments. And with AI, it sees you as a verified expert. This is also why you can see why the triangle is upside down and Geo is on the bottom, because if you don't have the foundation, if you don't have the grounding layer, then the triangle will collapse. Now, this is the foundation that we need to have. And let me just share my screen again, because usually when I have this presentation, I get a lot of questions about the schema markup. And let me just share the screen. Oh, now it's in Dutch, of course. Sorry. I did not do my VPN. So what I want to do here is I want to just grab my website.
I have so many questions, but I'm like, I'm sure she's going to answer them. I'm sure she's going to answer them. This is so interesting.
Yes, I will. We have time at the end as well to answer the questions. So when I say structure your website, one part is the people schema markup, the organization schema markup. There is a book schema markup if you're an author. So this is a snippet, like a piece of code that you need to write and add on your website so that AI can actually read it, right? So as you can see here, and then it's a longer thing here. Oh, this is, yeah, okay, I have to look at that. But this is basically me as a person, like my name, what do I want to be known for? Those are all the links. This is everything that I know and that I want to be known for, right? So, but this is data that you need to create and that you need to feed, like feed AI. And you can only do this by putting this code on the website so that AI and Google can also put together the dots of who you are and what you want to be known for.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, of course.
Can it go on any website? Like, can I put that data, like that code into, say, a Go High Level website or a Wix website or a WordPress? Like, will it work on anything?
Yes, it works on anything. So you just have, like, it depends on the web, like it depends on if you use WordPress or Wix or Showit or whatever, then it depends on how you can put it there, but you always can put the code in there so that it's readable. Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. That is so cool. Yay. Thank you.
All right, can we go back to the slides?
Mhm.
All right, so that was Geo, the foundation. Now, the next thing is podcasts. Now, podcast interviews are third-party credibility signals, and they create long-form contextual conversations that AI can actually understand. Now, what does that mean? So with podcasts, first of all, you build trust because people listen to you for 30 to 60 minutes. Secondly, you get the backlink. And the backlink is basically somebody else saying you're an expert in that field because you talk about your expertise on the podcast, obviously, and then you get the backlink. And the transcripts, they function as a high quality natural language blog content because AI can obviously read video, read audio, read text. It's nowadays there still has to be a transcript, but can read video. I think like the MP3, like only the audio, it's a little bit buggy, but that's only just a matter of weeks probably until this is possible. So AI can just read anything. And again, you want to make sure that you talk about your expertise. And then repeated appearances around a clear expertise lane creates signal density. That's what I said in the beginning as well. Always talk about the same thing. The more you talk about, the denser the signal is, and the more trust AI has in you and your ideal client as well. And then for humans, podcasts build familiarity and trust at a depth that social media cannot at all, because 30 to 60 minutes and one social media post. And then for your ideal clients, podcast interviews let them get to know you really deeply before even booking a call, right? So they already arrived pre-sold, not just curious. So whenever people come to me, when they hear me speak on a podcast, most of the time it's like, how does the timeline look? Do you have capacity? And what is my investment? Because people already know that they want what I sell. So depth builds memory for people and for machines. Now, the next layer is the media, which is the validation layer. So media appearances act as a third-party credibility signal as well. And the bigger and more credible the publication, the stronger the trust signal. Now, not only the publication, but the bigger and more credible the source. Like if you speak on Lewis Howes, the School of Greatness podcast, this is a massive backlink that you would get, right? So, and then also compared to like Forbes or Cosmopolitan or like all the big publications that you have, if you get those backlinks, this is a massive indicator for AI, for Google to say like, okay, this is really an expert. She or he actually knows what he or she's talking about. And also high authority mentions strengthen your digital entity and reinforce your expertise, obviously. And the beauty about media is also that you don't need to convince anyone, right? So you ride on the publication's reputation and it does the work for you. Also, media works best when it validates something that already exists and not when it tries to create authority from scratch, which is also why this is the third layer, right? So we always start with geo, then we go to podcasts, then we go to media. And authority is stronger when others say it for you. That's what I said. If I say I'm great, that's ads. If somebody else says I am great or you are great, then this is PR. And now here, the pink circle around the AIO, that's the continuous visibility loop, right? So an AIO stands for artificial intelligence optimization, and how it's basically a system that reinforces itself, right? So podcasts generate depth and discoverability. Media provides the validation and authority signals. GEO ensures everything is connected, legible, and understood by AI. And AIO ensures that these signals are continuously reinforced so that authority compounds over time instead of resets, like with social media, when you say something the one day and the next day it disappeared already. Now here is like an infographic so that you can understand easier what I just said, because I know it is a lot to process. So this is basically the new hierarchy of authority, and also at the same time how you can become visible to AI. So on the top there, you have the priority, which is the foundation of authority. Now here we have the strong GEO foundation, right? So you create your verified entity, which includes also a Google Knowledge Panel that signals AI that you are real and you are a recognized entity. Then you want to start pitching podcasts and also later then pitch the media. So this is your number one priority. Then on the second layer, the legibility, that is the structure of understanding, so that we show AI, or that we teach AI and teach Google who we are and what do we want to be known for. So you have on the right-hand side, you have the consistent messaging, what I said, always the same bio, always the same topic, create the theme density. And then on the left hand, you have the structured data. Like that's the technical setup of your website, where you have the schema markup for people, for organizations, for books, and everything. Now, those two layers are the most important ones that you want to focus on. And then you have the bottom layer, which is the distribution, which is basically the amplifier. And this is where social media and regular posting sits. So that the role of that tier, is basically only to distribute the authority and the proof that you have built in the first two layers, right? And not really to create foundational credibility. Sometimes words are hard. And then on the right-hand side, you can see the invisibility trap, which is really most entrepreneurs focus their energy on the support tier, right? On the foundation, on social media. And then they wonder why they are invisible.
If you want to watch the entire episode, click here. And if you want to watch more episodes like this, click here.